Seeing as both Jake Paul and Logan Paul were victorious over the weekend following Jake's 10-round thriller over Nate Diaz and Logan Paul finally winning a WWE match against Ricochet, you would assume the pair are over the moon and are supporting one another. Well, it appears not all is smooth sailing for the Paul brothers, as on their Impaulsive episode yesterday, there was a back and forth which sparked up a lot of controversy online. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video for the full details. For the past few years now, the disruption the Paul brothers have caused to combat sports is like no other. Jake Paul has single-handedly revived boxing, whether you like it or not, and Logan Paul is taking over the WWE and will eventually, a few years down the line, become the face of the company. With this, of course, comes competition between the pair, as they're only competing with each other, and the internet knows the past beef they had, which resulted in them releasing diss tracks on one another, which garnered hundreds of millions of views. The main staple point in their past beef was when Logan Paul went behind his brother's back and slept with his girlfriend at the time, Alyssa Violet, which goes to show how Logan used to think and respect Jake at the time. Since the release of their latest podcast, it's clear how much Jake has matured these past few years due to boxing, and you cannot say the same for Logan Paul, and his recent antics have shown this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. This way you'll never miss out on any future celebrity videos similar to these. Interestingly, in the past, there's been the likes of Andrew Tate, who was actually on a call with Jake Paul a few months back and asked him the question about the relationship between KSI and Logan Paul and how much of it is actually friendship compared to business.
Are Logan and KSI really close, or is it all just a weird, like, promotional thing?
I think it's they're like acquaintances.
Okay.
But it is like this weird thing, but they both kind of like joke about that. Like I've seen Logan be like, "Yeah, we're best friends," like, and kind of say it jokingly. But obviously they're business partners and that whole entire thing. So
yeah, interesting. I just thought I'd ask. And I have nothing against Logan.
It has got to be a very tricky situation to be in if you're Jake, because every single rival he has, Logan Paul has suddenly decided to become business partners with. And in the clip we'll check out shortly, Jake brings this up. It was actually announced yesterday that Logan Paul will be fighting Dylan Daniels on the Prime card in October, with KSI fighting Tommy Fury on the main event. You already know there has to be a backup fighter for Logan, because you can almost guarantee at this point Dylan Daniels won't show up on fight night. Let's jump right into some of the different clips from the Impaulsive podcast where Jake and Logan were debating certain topics, starting with the entire Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz event.
Mentioning or bringing in Prime to the stadium. They said I would get kicked out if I brought a Prime bottle. Ridiculous, dude. Do you think I would ever ban you from promoting any of your shit at any of my events? That's ridiculous.
Wait, that's because of who the partner, the competing partner was
Marcos
for the event.
Texted us 4 times with stipulations listed out, paragraphs.
Yeah, get over it. Like, and meanwhile,
come on, I'm your brother building a
oh
business.
Yeah, you're my brother building a business. You love to play both sides, bro.
Jake has an extremely good point that Logan will play both sides whenever it can benefit him from a public standpoint and a business advantage, as 1 minute his life is his life and they're both separate, so he can partner with whomever regardless if it interferes with Jake's interest. Then the next, he's Jake's brother, so he should let him, for example, bring Prime into the stadium, even though there's $1 million contract for Celsius for Jake. Fans are starting to realize this now, especially with the CryptoZoo situation and how Logan handled that, which we'll check out later on, as that is still an ongoing lawsuit. The majority of people are siding with Jake now, which is interesting, as only a few years ago, Jake was seen as the immature brother and Logan had the clear, reasonable standpoint which people would agree with. Just a few comments from the podcast would be, Logan is straight up delusional here. All he sees is Prime, Prime, and more Prime. How can he not understand that he can't bring and market his Prime company in his brother's fight that is sponsored by another drink company? Logan understands business, so why is he so ignorant here? Jake's so right. Logan just comes and goes when he wants and expects things to be handed to him. Meanwhile, Jake has been consistently grinding, focusing on boxing religiously, and Logan is doing unbelievably well in WWE right now and has one of the most successful podcasts and beverage businesses. Not sure why he's got to act so jealous and can't just be thankful and secure in his own success. Logan acting like Jake can't be his own man and make his own moves. If that's his bro and he loves him, then leave the Prime bottle backstage and support your bro. He's making tons of money, be happy for him. Logan and KSI have their own card and can promote their stuff there. Both can coexist. Logan acting like Jake owes him. It goes to show Logan's true character, as he wants every situation to benefit his sake regardless of who is involved. As if it is really that hard to just support your brother on one of the biggest events of his life. But he is just worried about bringing out a Prime bottle. There's no wonder George Janko ended up leaving the podcast, as Logan is becoming a handful with how he carries himself and each situation. From CryptoZoo to how he handled his supposed closest friend George Janko's departure and joking of that once he left, to now his own brother. His true colors are starting to show, and the entire world is witnessing it.
The Zone, who, by the way, on the Misfits card, KSI's event, promoted the fuck out of your fight against Nate Diaz. The Zone was not allowed to promote the Prime card? That's ridiculous. Whose ass was that? It was Nikisa's, dude. Nikisa's on your team. He's not on Team Paul. He's on Team Jake. And we're a family. And he knows that. And so, yeah, bro, he doesn't get along with everyone either.
But why would I want to promote his event? It's KSI's event.
Because I'm on it. I'm on the undercard.
You can see both points of view from this argument. As on the Misfits event, they were constantly promoting Jake Paul and Nate Diaz's fight, but on his card, there wasn't even a peep of the KSI versus Tommy Fury fight, which is quite sly, as it's on the exact same platform, being DAZN. Then again, as a boxing promoter's stance, you have to do everything in your power to shut out competitors to support your guy, especially the fact that his arch rival KSI is headlining the card. Before we go any further into the video, what is your stance on this entire situation and how it was handled on the podcast? Do you think Logan Paul was being overdramatic about this situation, or did he have some valid points? Comment down below.
This has been his lane, his dedication, his dream, his drive, everything. And so, like, I get it. Like, similarly to you in WWE or with Prime or whatever it is, having somebody then come up to you as you're on this route to guaranteed strategic success that you're dumping your entire fucking life into, and be like, yo, I'm a come back in now. I can understand why he has defenses there. I understand it. But
yeah,
once you
and
go
it's like trying to like even snipe the Tommy Fury fight like after I lost to him, like right there on the spot.
When Mike chimes in with stuff like this, he does make solid points, because if it was flipped and Jake suddenly came out of nowhere and wanted to fight the #1 person on the WWE, Logan would hardly say, yeah, no worries, mate, you can have him. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.